Appreciate everyone jumping on today. So what we're going to talk about is our estimating services, as well as what we do outside of estimating, and how we can get to the point where you as a customer can get on and request services from us in a very easy and efficient way. We'll start off with a little bit about Archidiem. So Archidiem was started in 2019, end of 2019, coming into 2020. A bunch of us that have been working in the construction industry for a long time decided that we really wanted to focus on pre-construction and how to make those processes and procedures better for the industry. We've been in the industry for a long time doing that, and we've got a team that has got a very diverse background. Not only component manufacturers, we've worked for plate suppliers, lumber yards. We've done a lot of software development, and we've got a very diverse set of experience to attack this problem, not only from a services perspective, but we also have started to come up with solutions on the front end that will help tie things together and really streamline the pre-construction phase of the construction process. So what we offer now, as far as an actual services component, is we do component design. We have roof truss, floor truss, wall panel design. We also are able to provide EWP and do coordination with those systems. That is in concert with, we offer Revit design services. So whether it's simple schematic design, design development, or even going all the way to the point of construction documents, we're able to look at those from the perspective of being able to provide the component design and the actual structural designs, and moving those disciplines up into the schematic design or design development phases, where sometimes they aren't considered as much as others. And when you're able to do that, that leads into what we're going to talk about today, is we're able to get a much more accurate estimate and take off of those services. And that's what Jamie is going to talk about with everyone today.
Morning, everybody. My name is Jamie Barrero, Director of Estimation. Some of the services that we offer, all 16 construction categories are offered, from structural concrete to finishes. One thing that sets us apart at Archidiem is we can customize your material output to your company standards. That way, whatever materials and whatever criteria your company has to go by, we can customize your reports to reflect that. That way, there's no intermingling of information and confusion as you work through your project. We also offer a custom waste percentage worksheet for accuracy, which allows the customer, to manipulate your waste percentages, and then in turn manipulate your orderable quantities of material throughout the project and projects. In the long term, driving that waste percentage down, saving the company money, and saving the company time. When you talk benefits about estimation, first things that come to mind is a time savings with accurate layouts for the job site. When you send a bundle of lumber to a job site, in the past, it's been very hard for these framers and installers and subcontractors to know what material was figured for where in the construction phase. And by providing these layouts, we give a detailed layout that shows where all these parts and pieces were used on the takeoff. That way, the material can be sorted and put in the proper place as it was taken off for, saving waste percentages and saving the job site time to figure out where they need to put the lumber. On this display here, we have all of your headers, and this is a good example. I picked this multifamily because it does show you the placement of all of the different placements, types, plies, and call outs on the page. So this being on the job site is a total benefit that you get from estimation. And that, I believe, just rolls into your cost savings at the end of the job. Part of what I wanted to discuss today was how we use cut logic and framing logic to perform our takeoffs. Cut logic is something that I exercise with my team on a daily basis, and it's to understand what the framing requirements are of the job and how we can utilize the orderable parts of material to benefit your project. So by doing this, we create that least waste percentage and drive that down for cost savings. Also, the framing logic is, I've seen a lot of plans that have multiple details that conflict with each other. And I'm sure that everyone on the call today has come across this or seen this once or twice in their career. And it helps to have a team that's trained on framing logic and has the background of framing experience. In that case, we are able to step in and actually provide framing logic for a bad detail. If it's not going to be constructed that way, we'll reach out, we'll explain it, go through that process, and then make sure at the end of the takeoff, you get the material that you need, not just what's printed on the plan. There's a lot of times that things are overlooked, and we take our time and make sure that we're not missing anything, as we know missed materials on job sites are very costly. Here's another demonstration of just a simple roof takeoff for gutters, downspouts, sheetrock, drip edge. I just wanted to show the output on this one so you guys could get a look at a couple examples of what our output is to the customer. In those 16 construction categories, we also offer exterior skin. And I have these projects that I pulled up, and I just wanted to bring this, as far as a waste factor, that you would implement into a project. There's a couple ways to do that. Back when we didn't have as much technology as we do today, if you can see the top left demo, you see the siding in green and all the windows are covered, all the doors are covered. And this is how we would account for waste percentages in the past. Now that we have the ability with calculating formulas and adding percentages and being able to manipulate those percentages based on a job and what we see progress through the longevity of your project. In the top left where you have the blue highlighted and you can see the windows are cut out. This can be done either way, and not saying either way is right or wrong. We've decided to go with the top method where we take out the doors and windows and supply a manipulable waste factor to you. That way you and your team can really hone in on what you're really wasting and what you're over purchasing on a job. I think these points are important and definitely helps with the job site and productivity. Lastly, I've got a demonstration of our customer working sheet, is what I like to call it. And you have all of your descriptions are what the material is. Your part is an orderable part. These are not generic parts. No part that you will get will be generic. They will come from a database that has been created by Archidiem. And we have the yellow highlighted cell for waste percentage. And when this is active and you receive this, you're able to change that waste percentage based on that job and that particular material. And what that does is it will change your quantity, but keep your quantity without waste the same. So that way you can kind of plug and play based on different models and different options, and more waste factors to less waste factors on complexity of sheathing or studs or shear walls or whatever may come to play in that project where you feel you need to add or take away from the waste. I've also added 2 extra columns. These are not done by us. We don't do cost of materials, but we do like to provide a service and a sheet where you guys don't have to take our information and transfer it to another sheet. So that way you can actually send this to your purchasing department and they can fill out this sheet, unit cost, total cost, and hopefully push this to the end of your process. That way you're not changing platforms or sheets or copying along the way. We also customize these reports for individual customers. So what you're looking at now is not set in stone. If you need more columns with titles that are available for you guys to manipulate once you receive these reports, we can customize that for you. At the end of the day, I want to make it easier for you guys to streamline the estimation process and get to the end of the project successfully.
Excellent. Thanks, Jamie. So we, as you can see, we offer a wide variety of services, and we offer all of these services in a way that are very specific to what the customer needs. What you're seeing on the screen now, this is a video of another webinar that we did a few weeks back. So this is, as I discussed in the intro, this is our web portal. This is a very easy way for you as a customer to interface with Archidiem as a provider of these different services for you. So when you go to our website, archidiem.com, there's a very simple way to get on there, register as a customer of Archidiem, put in all of your information, and once you've done that, then you can upload projects. You can always view the progress of your projects. You can upload your documents. You can download your documents, look at your quotes, your orders, and everything all in one spot. So we don't have to deal with everything via email, let things get dropped or lost or forgotten about. Everything is in one place, not only for us as a provider, but for you as a client of Archidiem, and keep everything in there.
Thank you, Lauren and Jamie, for the overview of Archidiem's estimating services. During the presentation, we did have a couple questions that came in. The first one being, what are you using to generate the takeoffs and outputs? How are you accomplishing this?
Sure, Amelia. Currently, we use an assortment of different softwares in combination with proprietary Archidiem softwares and solutions that create a cost savings and better reporting for the outcome for the customer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that. I want to make sure we can get everyone's questions in. The next one is, what is the average cost someone can expect for a takeoff on, let's say, an average size home? Lauren, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. So that can be a tough one to answer without knowing some specifics, but that's one of the benefits of the Archidiem portal. So if you were to go onto our portal and you input the square footage of that project, along with the takeoff items that you want, whether it's framing or exterior finishes, concrete, any of the 16 divisions, as Jamie mentioned, you'll get real-time pricing on the portal, and you can turn things on and off and see what the lead times are, and the pricing of that is live. And then if you have any questions about that, we also, as I mentioned in the presentation here a few minutes ago, we had a separate webinar discussing how to use the portal, how to sign up, how to do all of the things that you would need to do to get that pricing. And there's a YouTube video of that, and a link that we can provide to that as well. So.
All right, thank you, Lauren. It looks like we have one more question, and this user wants to know, what is different about your approach and the results as compared to other estimating service providers? You know, what makes Archidiem different? And what's the value add that you guys can bring to the table? Jamie, since you're the one doing it every day, you want to speak to this?
Sure. Thanks, Amelia. I think we approach it a couple different ways. First off is the customer and what they expect and what they should be receiving. At Archidiem, we use actual orderable parts, not generic parts. And we provide a service that helps cut on cost, cut on time, and progress your project faster than it should be going. For instance, I had a project come in a couple weeks ago. I had received the takeoff that they had received from another company. It was all generic parts, 8-foot 2x4, 2x10. And that doesn't really benefit the customer or the job site. So what we have done is created a proprietary database with over 57,000 construction parts that are orderable parts. So when you get material from us, it's a 92 5/8 Doug fir #2 pre-cut stud. And that's the way that it shows up on your report. We don't send you something that says 8-foot 2x4, because then you as a customer are spinning your wheels looking at the plans again to find out what material is actually required on this takeoff or on this project. So I think that's a big value add for customers that would like to experience the Archidiem takeoff services.
Thank you, Jamie. I think that ends our Q&A session. As Lauren said, if you would like more information or to request a private demo, you can contact us at the information on this slide shown here. We appreciate you tuning in today. Stay tuned to our social media platforms for other announcements of various demos and training content that will be released. Thank you guys and have a good afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.